Like, actually, like looking at like proper good cameras that can get fucking really expensive.
Oh, I know, it's so fucked.
It's ridiculous. Like not even just like a filming camera, but like a photo camera is like 10 grand for a really good one.
Should go marketplace. So
The
heaps of people buy cameras and then they realise they're shit at photography and then they just sell them.
That's just selling. I could probably do that. It's kind of like that with gym equipment. You get some really cheap stuff.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do a quick introduction then. Hello and welcome to Thought Anthology. It is episode 31. I have Travis. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Hello everyone. Go Jack.
Go Jack.
But call it Go Jack, everyone does.
Go Jack. It sounds like a video game character.
I'll take that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's been 8 months since the last episode. I do apologise. It's either because I'm lazy, which is most likely the case, and because of work and stuff. But I don't really need to justify that to anyone because I've only got like 2 people listening.
That's alright, they still care.
I'm just going to start with where are you from, Travis?
Yeah, so from Melbourne originally.
Yeah.
Born and bred there. Family's from Croatia though.
Yeah.
But moved up here after me and my ex-girlfriend split up. Wanted a bit of a change. Yeah, it's one of those ones who are living together. So
yeah,
thought I'd come up here and have a bit of a change, a bit of a reset.
Yeah.
It's been good.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, why did you come here? Like, is it just because of the breakup?
Yeah, well, we broke up and Melbourne's just fucked to live in.
Yeah.
Like rent prices and like I've got my dog and trying to live there.
Yeah.
And get a rental was like $350 a week for a 1-bedroom shitbox.
Oh, yeah,
but you
really?
come here, you pay like $200 to live with someone else, you get a full house.
Yeah, true.
And also, I just wanted to change. I've always been in Melbourne. It's
Yeah.
the same shit. Everyone goes out every weekend, gets fucked up,
Yeah.
hates their life during the week, does the same thing.
Yeah. And you weren't really for that, really.
Oh, I was for a long time.
Yeah.
I just wanted to change. I was probably the best at it for a long time.
Oh,
This is
beautiful.
why I needed the change.
Yeah. So, is your mum and dad from Croatia then? Or?
Dad is. She moved here when he was 8
Yeah.
or 7, and then mum's Australian though.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you said you've been to Croatia as well, haven't you?
I wish.
Yeah, we'll have to do a boys trip.
Yeah, fucking.
That'd be good.
I want to go next year actually, hopefully.
That'd be
If all goes well.
Yeah. Well, Louis going to Germany after Thailand.
I thought Louis might go to Croatia with me. He
Oh.
must be making plans without me.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, he's in
Or
trouble.
maybe he's going to do the Thailand, Croatia, Germany, maybe. He wants to do the whole of Europe, really. I think that's what the conversation is. I've still got to get him on the podcast. It's legit been months, and every time I organise, he's somewhere
He's a
else.
busy man though.
He always
He's a busy
adds
man.
something to his itinerary.
Yeah.
Mate, he's a very, very busy man. So from that, so I've already asked you why are you in Mildura and stuff like that. So what do you do for work at the moment?
Worked down at ARB. Just
ARB,
doing sales.
not a
Which I
sponsor.
enjoy.
Yeah.
No, no sponsorship affiliated.
Yeah.
Simply like
Unless
that.
he wants to.
Do love him though. Come check us out.
So what do you do down there?
Sales.
Sales, yeah.
Which I like because I like talking to people. I like
Yeah.
problem solving. So
Yeah.
it's a good little change. I did bartending for years and years, which is good, but it's a bit different. It's a bit
Yeah.
slower and you get to actually hang out with people and talk to people. And
Yeah.
It's cool.
Fuck
No, it's cool.
bartending.
Yeah, no, fucking.
Was
People just get drunker and ruder.
Yeah, was it just mainly, you worked at the office for a period of time as well, didn't you?
That was fucked.
Yeah,
Bars in Mildura, everyone. Not great.
not great. They're
Not
better than
about that.
Melbourne.
No, not better than Melbourne.
No.
Melbourne's people are just feral.
Yeah,
Yeah, when they get drunk,
yeah,
I think.
yeah, fair enough. I used to work in hospital and I don't want to go
Yeah,
back.
no, never.
Definitely not. Fucking, yeah, that's probably where you like,
At least you had your time in there though. I think it teaches you a lot.
Yeah.
When you work in hospital,
I was there for 4 years. That's long
it
enough.
teaches you a lot and gives you a few mental issues.
Yeah, for sure. Like, patient of like people, serving, and everything like that.
Yeah.
So when we were trying to set up this podcast, I was asking you about like what sort of shit we want to talk about, and as I showed you before, what like to kind of talk about. You like talking about social interactions. Like, get this. What do you mean by that? Like,
Yeah. No, I just find it very interesting in the way that people interact and people's internal monologues, and you see a lot of people now that wasn't really spoken about doing their influencer stuff or sort of like opening up about their opinions and their thoughts and their views. But I just find it very interesting to see how people think about things and why people act the way they do.
Okay, that's interesting. So, give us an example of like one like social interaction like that you find interesting.
I find it weird to look at things in retrospect. There's a lot of things that I look at that I see younger people do that I used to do that, for example, when I was younger, when I was nervous, I would get defensive. So say I was in a social interaction and I didn't really know the people and I felt anxious. I
Yeah.
put up a wall so I might come off as a bit of a cunt. bit hostile, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And then now that I'm a bit older, I find it interesting to look at someone younger and then instead of going, you're being a cunt, go, hang on a minute,
Yeah.
maybe you're actually anxious. What can I do to relieve that anxiety?
Yeah.
And sort of, just that sort of stuff, which I find.
Why are you being a cunt?
Instead of you are a cunt. Like, why are you being a cunt?
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, I think it just comes back to people's own insecurities or people's own anxieties. And I only really start to realize that when you see a lot of that stuff in yourself as you grow up.
Yeah. So you had a bit of anxiety growing up, did you?
Yeah.
Like
I think everyone does in some sense. I think it's part of growing up, which is. Yeah. I think it's just. I think growing up's just learning how to manage your anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah. In some sense, like some people do it quicker than others, and some people don't do it at all, and they end up not so good.
So how large of a barrier was your anxiety?
It wasn't a huge deal for me. I was okay when I got to know people, but there was a lot of times where I wouldn't get to know people to begin with because it was easier to just not socialize or not do that new thing or not go to something. It's also, I think it's because people are scared to fail, so you don't try something. It's that same thing of, it might be awkward if I go and try to talk to that group of people or something. I'm not going to do it. I'll just stay with the people I know. But then I feel like as you grow up and then you start to realize you can put yourself in those situations, a lot more opportunities occur as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you find that sort of like an exposure therapy for yourself?
Yeah, sort of. It's also sort of why I moved here. In the sense that I just wanted something different. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. I knew it would challenge me.
Yeah.
I knew I wouldn't know anyone, but also it'd make me have to make friends, have to put myself out there, have to go and do things I wouldn't usually do.
Yeah. If you can, the day I have to answer this if I ask this, when your relationship ended, was your anxieties heightened at all after that?
No, actually relieved.
Felt like a relief,
Yeah.
so probably was not an ideal relationship for you.
Not great. Don't want to get into that on a podcast.
Let's not do that.
No. It was
later.
Yeah. I think we were just at very different stages. Let's just leave it at that. Leave it at that. Yeah.
That's fair enough. So social anxiety. I guess I had, everyone else did. I had anxiety as well.
Yeah.
And exactly like you, man, just exposure. I couldn't eat when I was 16. I struggled to order coffee at a cafe.
Yeah.
And shit like that.
No, I remember that one. Mum would give you the phone, and you did not want to fucking. Can you call the pizza guy? No, Mum, can't do it. Can't do it. It's just funny as you get older to sort of see those things.
I still fucking struggle with phone calls.
Oh really?
Yeah,
no, I'm alright on the phones now.
Yeah.
I struggle at speaking in big groups.
Yeah.
Big
groups is fine. If it's in person, it's fine for me personally because I can read people better. I know how to adjust to that. But on the phone, it's there's so many unknowns. And then you're that anticipatory anxiety. What should I say? What happens if I do this? What questions am I asking?
Or when you both start to speak at the same time.
Yeah.
It's when you're walking past them, when you both go left, both go right.
Oh yeah, it's just
not good.
It gets awkward, and it's oh god.
Yeah.
And then you worry that person doesn't have good self-regulation. It's what if they yell at me? What if they get mad? So crowds, why don't you like talking in front of crowds? Is there a particular reason? Or?
No, I don't know. I think it's just always been a thing. I'm getting better at it.
Yeah.
I think. But used to just not. I don't think I liked having a lot of attention on me by a lot of people at once. It was just daunting, I guess.
Yeah.
It just felt daunting, so I never really tried it. And I left it at that. But I think with anything, if you don't like it, you should do it until you like it.
Yeah.
Which seems strange, but maybe not everything. But
no, just
don't like this. No.
Yeah, I get doing things that are reasonably that are not. I guess having an irrational fear of a crowd. Well, it's not really irrational in the sense of probably its origin.
But it is irrational once you do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Once you get I feel like a lot of things, if you look at internally, which is what I find weird, is fears are just fears until you do them, and then once you do them, you can process why they're irrational. And a lot of the times, you already understand that if you just do it, you won't have a fear of it anymore. But people stop themselves because they don't want to try.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think I remember listening. I'm gonna go into the segue.
Go for it.
I remember with the crowd stuff, with the group speaking, when you hear on certain other podcasts and stuff like that, it's probably due to how we were in tribes. In the sense that when you were put in front of the crowd, it was most likely for a bad thing, not really a good thing.
Ah.
Yeah. Unless you were I don't know, maybe the leader of the group or something like that. But most of the time, that when you're in front of the group, if you mess that up, it could mean either exile or some sort of negative consequence.
Is there a link to that?
Um,
Just some thoughts.
I could probably see if I can find like a study or
I'm
something.
just thinking.
That kind of makes sense, I guess, because there's a lot of things that like don't really make much sense. Like being scared of like talking in front of a crowd is weird compared to like being scared of like a shark in the water.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you should be more scared of like a predator in the water than actually speaking in front of people.
Yeah.
Especially in the modern day, because like there's not as many risks anymore. Like you
Yeah.
can still talk in front of people. No one's going
Or
to
half
hurt
the
you.
time you can't say anything now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being socially ostracized is like I guess is actually a major consequence as well because you can be
Yeah.
shut down.
Yeah. But I think that's the other thing. I think like social things are so much scarier because I think we're designed for social interaction.
Yeah.
Like that's like our main. If you strip us, like if you go anywhere in the world and look at any different tribe, like they all have the same sort of social interaction in the way
Yeah.
that they treat their kids and stuff. And obviously there's differences,
Yeah.
but it's also all the sort of same.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, that's probably how we all evolved.
Yeah.
Those groups, like being in a group is safer than being by yourself, and working together is better, which makes sense. And so we develop all these complex systems that we have. And it's really weird now, like, because like just your own words, like if this somehow gets more than one enough viewers, and there's one of those viewers that has a loud enough voice, could probably get this podcast cancelled if they disagree with the opinion on it, or they make their opinion obscured. It's very strange how that can happen. Is that like can even affect like your life and your job just based upon like
Single comment.
and like
Yeah.
and social interaction.
Yeah.
So like I guess I'm kind of wrong in the sense that like you're not really safe anywhere anymore. One day, like
but
yeah,
it's a different. I don't know. I think it's weird now though because there's a lot of people that won't agree with you, but there's always someone that does as well. That's the other thing I find very strange. I feel like you can find reason for almost any argument if people look hard enough.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's very strange because there's so much information out there now and so many trusted sources and so many different doctors or different lawyers or different esteemed people with different opinions. You can get a trusted source opinion that's technically a fact that's just not.
yeah, and well, I think it's because most of the time, it's a argument of subjectivity, and that's where like if somebody's really tied to that belief, it becomes really an emotionally driven thing. Because if it wasn't emotionally driven, I don't think there wouldn't be that much of a negative outcome because you'd follow the process. But when it's something controversial that is a very emotionally driven topic that is apparently a fact, and then you have an opposing opinion on whatever the claim is the fact, then you have these clashes of emotions which can lead to who has the most powerful influence over those vibes.
Definitely.
It's fucking weird, man. I just find it so odd, like how important the feelings we have for like topics are.
Yeah,
like
I know. But then when you look at other things in retrospect, a lot of the time the things that you are strung up on don't really matter.
No.
But at the time they really do.
Yeah.
So do you tend to them or do you become stoic and not?
Well, it depends. It depends. Well, it probably depends on the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, for me personally, I usually try not to get too emotionally invested anyway, because it's not going to really benefit me in the long run.
Yeah.
I'd rather be as happy as much as I can instead of being miserable.
Being shabby.
Being shabby all the time. What else we got there? I've written down internal monologue.
Yeah. No. I guess that goes along with that whole thing of speaking in retrospect and looking at things yourself and being able to identify that a lot of the things that you struggle with are fears that you've put there don't actually exist.
Yeah.
So, I just find it interesting that like even with myself, I can think about something and have 6 different thoughts on the same topic. Like I just bought my new car. I love it, but then also I regret it, but I don't regret it because I like it. But now I'm in debt, so that's a bad thing. But I got my car, so it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But so that like, how do I rationalize it?
Yeah.
And
it's not a justification. Like.
Yeah, but it's weird because I feel like it's weird because you have the choice to pick what you want to feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I also do think though people are responsible for their happiness to some extent, which may be very controversial because yes, depression and stuff exist, and I'm not saying they don't, and I've been in those places, but I know to get myself out of those places,
Yeah.
a lot of the time it's not doing something different, it's stopping doing the things that are putting you there in the first place.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of that like negative internal monologue comes from not taking opportunities you know you could have, because you beat yourself up because you go, I could have gone for that run, or I could have watched a movie, and you choose to watch a movie, or you skip a event you know you should go to, or you don't eat healthy when you're meant to, and then you actually regret you missing opportunities that you chose to miss.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like there's a change from your younger self to who you are now, like in your
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think I was always very much so shit's happening to me.
Yeah.
And like I always felt like I wasn't really in control, and I was always blaming things like, if only this happened to me, or if only I got what Charlie or Tom or someone got, then I'd be luckier. And then I think now, like as I've grown up, it's a lot more you're in charge of your happiness, and you're in charge of the way you feel, and it's not so much things happening to you. Like I understand if I want something, I gotta go and get it, or I gotta go and do it. Or if I'm in a bad situation, it's probably because I did something to put me there. And it's not always. Things happen. But if you break down all of your things that you do in the day, most of the time, most of it is a reflection of what you've been doing.
Yeah. So do you sort of like think that things just happen to you without any intention, like just things in life? Let's say if you got into a car crash, they're not saying that you will. Do you think that's because of an act of something higher, or because of just because things happen? Just
that sort of stuff, I really don't know how I feel yet about that stuff. I actually really want to read the Bible and the Quran and all that stuff. Just for I don't know what I believe, but I don't think I can have an opinion on it if I haven't researched. Because everyone loves to have an opinion on that stuff, but no one's like researched all the different religions. So it's well, many people have, but a lot of people that are making comments haven't.
Yeah.
So, but no, I believe there must be some sort of universal higher power. What that is, I no idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
Just so I don't believe any of it.
No, it's all right.
I have a lot of Christian people that come on. I've actually like spoken to them. It's quite interesting talking to those people. I kind of would believe in.
I don't believe there's a big man in the sky
that
lets you into his like house if you're a good guy.
Yeah.
But I believe in. Well, I don't know what I believe yet. That's the hard thing. But I think there's definitely things we don't understand.
Yeah. Which is true.
That would be that could explain a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's even like I don't know much about it, but I want to learn about quantum physics because I've seen a few different little things on that, and even just the way that particles react, whether they're being watched or not. Like that is a supernormal phenomenon, if you ask me.
Quantum physics, like physicists don't understand quantum physics. It's quite complicated, apparently. I don't know.
I don't understand physics, so
even like people understand. It's like with that whole notion anyway. Like it's very strange, like how we do exist and how we are aware of it. That's the strange thing. Like the fact that you and I are alive right now, having this conversation that we perceive we are conscious of, we have control of, and yet if that came from an existence of nothingness, is very strange.
Yeah. But I guess a lot of people just want us to have a higher power, or then life is in some way meaningless.
Yeah.
Because if you could be good or bad or do what you want, at the end of the day you die and that's it. And I guess a lot of people are probably scared of that, so they look for a reason to have something else.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. And I believe that notion as well. There are people that, like not the entire, a lot of people that do believe in religions, but there are people that do tend to go that route because they need that sort of support to get through life, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's true. Like in the sense of like objective.
I think religion's very good, or all religions at their core teach a lot of good values.
Yeah.
But I don't think any of them should be taken wholly on their merits. I think the ideas that are presented in some parts of those texts can be very, very good.
Yeah.
But there are just things in there that people take literally that just should not be.
Yeah. I guess most religious texts are really good for like what they were. I think anyway. They're mainly there for like cultural and societal like rule based in a basic sense, so things run smoothly.
Yeah, like a social expectation.
Yeah. But like when they're talking about like the high man in the sky, like that's a very complicated question. And I don't think that like a religious text can really describe that because if I needed, like, let's say, if I need a person or a book to explain to me what God is, why would I should I believe that? Because if God really wanted to me to know,
No,
he would make it obvious.
Yeah. And then faith's a funny thing because they just say believe blindly. It's called faith.
It's like
people are like, oh well, it's not a religion.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
is it?
it's very
They
convenient.
just put it there. Yeah, they just put it there. Also, the church makes so much fucking money.
Yeah,
So like they've got a pretty good reason to keep people reeling in.
yeah, it's a good way of making profits. But like, it's great. Like, just have faith in it. It's like,
Yeah, just trust us.
it's like, nah, man, like,
Oh, I don't know.
it's like, would you rather believe in God and like him existing when you die, or not believing in God, and then when you die, sorry, let me rephrase that. Like, there's the argument that people say is that like you're better off. Some people I know, but I disagree with it. That you're better off believing in God blindly, because then when you die, if He does exist, then you'll be in heaven. But if you don't believe Him and then you die and He does exist, then you're not going into heaven. But that's based upon the text that you believe in, which there's hundreds of different texts.
And they've all been translated from Latin about 50 fucking times.
Whatever they are. But then again, also, like, if God really created me and knew who I was, then wouldn't
He make me have the faith to at least have some sort of belief?
Yeah, why is He making it so difficult?
And also, this is my thing though, even if God did exist and I said He didn't exist, if I go through my life being a decent person, by their rules, I think I'd get into heaven.
Yeah.
If this man in the sky does exist, just like be a good cunt and like good things will happen to you.
Yeah.
Like I believe karma's a thing, but I don't think karma's a thing by sort of some magical cool thing.
Yeah.
Like I think karma's just a thing from like if you're good to people, people will see you good and they'll be good back to you. It's the same as manifestation. Of course, if you proactively focus on something, you will reach that, or you're much more likely to reach that outcome. If you go, I manifested this. Yeah, if you wake up every day and think, I'm going to get big in the gym, then the thing on your mind is going to the gym, so you're more likely to go there, you're more likely not to snack, and then people go, wow, it's manifestation.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty much just meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we like karma stuff. It does work in a society. I think it does work. You like working with people. But if you're like out in the woods, if you're nice to a bear, the bear will still eat you.
Oh yeah, fucking
like, yeah, it probably only works realistically.
Well, it works with conscious people.
Yeah, with cultures and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. What's like with internal monologue? Like, so what is like right? Like, what is your expectation out of your life then?
Life, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I don't have a single expectation.
Yeah.
In the sense that I'm not going to be happy or unhappy where I land, but I'm okay in the sense that I don't know where I am going to be. But I think if you just don't get so caught up in where you're going to be and you just focus on like doing the right thing step by step, you'll end up in the place you're meant to be.
Yeah.
So I used to always think about, fuck, well, this person has this and this person has this and I need to do this or I need to do that. But now I'm more just like, oh, what do I need to do today to make my day easier for tomorrow? And I think if you keep doing that and just trust the process, that's how you get good. Yeah.
So, what do you want when you're on your deathbed?
Yeah.
What do you want the dying Travis to say about his life?
I reckon it's that cliche of like one, just don't have regrets, which I think is a huge thing. But I also just want the people that know me and my kids or grandkids, if I have kids, to just be able to look back and be like, he was a good cunt. Like, I think that's all that really matters at the end of the day. If you can leave here and there's nothing after this life, but you made it a bit easier for the people that are going to be here after you, then fucking good on you.
Yeah.
And like, have a good time doing it as well. Like, you don't have to be fucking high strung trying to like help every fucking person and like be like pessimistic, but just like have a fucking good time, have your fun, but be good to people. And whatever your fun is, your fun is. Like, I don't care if someone fucking goes out and benders every week, or they just skate for their whole life, or they play video games. If they're genuinely happy and they treat people well, go do that. Like, I think more people need to realise it's your choice. Yeah. So I think that's the same for me, not getting caught up in the rat race of doing what other people are doing, I guess, and just living my life in the way that I know is going to be good for me in the future, but also enjoying myself in the time when you're young, because I think it goes quickly as well.
Which I agree with that. Like, I hate it when I hear people say like, oh, I'm like X age, I should have this, this, and this.
Yeah.
It's like you're not owed anything. Your
Yeah.
life is a series of chaotic events, and you're just moving through them. Don't have any expectations of where you should be, but as long as you
And if you really want it, go get it.
yeah,
Like there is so much opportunity. There's a lot of competition.
Yeah.
But so if you really want to go get something, I feel like
Yeah.
you can.
yeah, or like not having the regret of not trying.
Yeah.
Because like let's say for example, if they want to be an Olympic champion or something, don't regret. Like even like let's say like it's somebody who wants to be who's 22 and they want to be an Olympic, I don't know, fucking weightlifter or something like that. You can like it's going to be hard, but there's still an opportunity. There's still potential.
If you don't get there, you're probably going to get somewhere pretty fucking cool anyway. That's the thing. People go, well, I want to be this. What if I don't get there? If you just do it, that's what I'm saying about doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You might not be an Olympic weightlifter, but if you make that your goal, I promise you're going to end up somewhere. You probably get sponsored for some sort of brand deal and get to do PT and teach people the thing that you love doing or something like that.
Or travel the world or something with it, you know.
And so that's something you'd fucking end up love doing.
Exactly right, man. Like, and that's what I'd love for people to do instead of just like, I need to be this, I need to be doing this. Like,
and then they're unhappy and they treat people shit.
Yeah, and I hate that so much. And I hate that mentality of like, I'm too old for this. And like, you hear like 40-year-olds and they're like, oh, I'm too old for this. Like, you know, I don't know. Because I don't, like, for me, because I don't want that for myself and I'm that age.
Yeah, I would fucking hate myself for that.
Yeah.
If I become senile, shoot me. Like, honestly.
Fuck. Like, you know, you're too old to learn a language. No, you can learn.
Yeah, you can learn anything, anytime. Like, there's fucking 80-year-olds out there doing fucking marathons. Yeah. Not many of them, but they're there.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, you only live once, might as well give a fucking shot at it. And if it means nothing, it means nothing anyway. So fucking like,
yeah, exactly.
You know, like, you know.
I think a lot of people just like to have a bit of a pity party sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier for them to tell them things are too hard because of their circumstance. For them than them to turn around and go, things are too hard because I'm not ready to put in the work.
Yeah.
Because I think I used to do that as well. Yeah. I can see a lot of that. They used to always be, oh, if there was a better time, a better day to do it, if I didn't have so much on. But if you want to do something, you make time.
Yeah. You know, it might be raining sometimes, we have to go for a run.
Yeah.
And I think that's a real common thing with like modern Western society because like I feel like that we have no direct culture. So like, and we do have a culture in the sense of like that negativity. We seem to like try to clamp onto some sort of negative good excuse for why we're doing certain things. And I think that's the case for like people who claim they have depression. Not saying not like they don't have depression.
But have you tried to do good things first?
Yeah,
it does exist, but
Or people who like the new thing is the ADHD thing.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone has ADHD now. I think everyone wants to have ADHD so they can explain why they haven't done anything with themselves yet. Because they're like, oh, it's just too hard. Yeah, it's fucking hard to do things. It's just hard.
Yeah.
Like, things aren't easy. They're just hard. Like, you know, and each challenge is going to be hard depending upon, like, each person.
Yeah.
Like, but the more you do hard things, like, the easier they get. And
but also, the more you do hard things, then you find the things that you find easy too.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know what they're good at because they don't try anything.
Yeah.
You got to do the bad things to find the good things.
And we're so lucky where we are, like in Australia, America, UK, like in the West, like we can actually just do that with our lives. Yeah. Like, let's say if I was born in Cambodia, I'm fucking stuck in the street selling fruit for like a couple cents. Like, luckily enough, I live the kind of lifestyle where I can just figure out who I am.
Wake up tomorrow and change my job.
Yeah.
No one would bat a fucking eye.
Yeah. Like, you know, that's the lucky thing behind it. Yeah. But that really shows the internal monologue. Yeah. Home life. Why did I say home life for? Like, what was your upbringing like?
No, that's not good.
Let's not go there.
No, the upbringing with my family was good.
Yeah.
So just get that on record. They're fucking legends.
Yeah.
I was just a troubled kid.
Yeah.
And did a lot of stupid things when I was growing up and put myself in some bad positions. Yeah. Now, I reckon home life was just on there about how, like, your internal monologue affects your home life with the people that you live around. And I think the direct effect on the way that you speak to yourself internally can reflect on the people around you. And you need to also understand that your mood does affect other people. Like, yeah, it's great. People should be independent. But if you're always being negative and then putting those ideas out in the people that you're closest with, you're essentially subconsciously plotting the idea for them to be negative.
Yeah.
Because you're an association of the people you hang around with, which I think is very true.
Yeah.
And if you're constantly negative and you're hanging around your close friends being negative all the time, that's going to rub off on them, whether they realize or not, and then they'll rub off
Yeah.
that onto other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's true. It happens in the workplaces. Like
Yeah.
toxic cultures happen everywhere. Like this becomes. It's really strange how that
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, that's the stuff I find interesting. Because if I was going to say anything's like spiritual, I
Yeah.
think the subconscious ways in which we interact, and then as a society, our views and thoughts are changed by things we don't even realize a lot of the time.
Yeah.
By like the way that I interact with you, and then you interact with someone else, and they interact with someone else, like the butterfly effect of
Yeah.
over a long period of time, how like little actions can actually make a big difference in our society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very strange. Well, it makes sense because, like, with that whole social thing, like, if we're really influenced by social interactions, therefore, like, the micro things would mean a lot too.
Yeah.
And if you talk about friend groups, like, the whole point is to fit in.
Yeah.
So, like, you'll act a certain way, or when you're younger anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before you, I don't know. Yeah, it's a whole different thing. So it makes sense. Yeah. Home life. My home life was all right. Really supportive family. Father was a bit of an alcoholic, very aggressive. Kind of chilled out as he got
still
older.
around?
Oh, he's alive. Yeah. You mean in town? What do you mean? He's still
just in general.
still around. So he's in Queensland now. He's up in the Daintree. Sends me some texts. We like have a phone call every now and then.
Do you like talking to him, or you sort of fuck along with him? Or?
I do now. Like his personality's changed a fair bit. He's done a bit of work on himself.
You just realised he was a bit off the rails.
Oh, bloody oath! When I was a kid, like he's the reason why I had anxiety and stuff and couldn't sleep. Because like you do like something like small and it became like a screaming match at you. So like you always had to like say sorry. So you're really internal.
That's what I was getting at. That internal monologue of him being in a bad position, he's drinking, knowing it's bad, gets reflected on you.
Yeah.
It puts you in a position where
yeah,
it's nothing to do with you, but it gets projected to you.
Yeah, because it's so emotional. Like, and when you're young, you're like, especially you don't know how to deal with the situation, and you haven't got role models who know how to deal with the situation. So you sit there and just like, all I can say is sorry.
Yeah.
And like that, and I'm an inconvenience to other people. Like that's the perception. Like,
it's hard because you didn't have to be there as a kid.
No,
like,
you didn't.
Yeah.
And that's probably like you're saying, like that's very interesting, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm still get affected by it today. Anyway, like I still like, when I go to a restaurant, like my girlfriend makes fun of me because I ask, is it okay if I can have this? Like, I always ask for like permission. Like, when I'm at a place where like that's the whole point of the place. Like I always still don't like being an inconvenience to other people. So that'll probably
say sorry a lot as well.
Oh, fucking oath, dude.
Yeah.
Like that'll be with me for the rest of my life. Like after this having this conversation, I feel like saying sorry. Like there's that. Yeah, so it's very strange how like that hangs on to you, and then you can still rationalize it, but it's there. It still sits there.
Yeah.
So how's your home life now? Would you say your home life now is now that you're living in Mildura? Or if you want to go with the meme that started in 2021, Bourse Victoria, which is actually in New South Wales.
When you say home life, do you mean my relationship with my parents or my house here?
Your housemates, like how many housemates?
Max is a fucking legend. That's my housemate. No, it's just me and Max, go way back. We lived together in Melbourne. He's probably the reason I moved here too, but he's such a good brother. Yeah. He's like a brother. Like his family's like my family. I had Christmas with them here last year because I wasn't in Melbourne. And like, just get along so easy, like a house on fire. And I think that makes a big difference too. Like I know when I go home, like if I've had a shit day or a good day or whatever mood I'm in, he's there and it'll be good. And I think that's like such a powerful thing of having healthy relationships because I'm trying to obviously train a lot and stuff at the moment. Yeah. But with him as well, there's no judgment. Like some days, the whole week I'll go and train, and then other days I'll come home and say I had a shit day, and I'll sit on the couch and eat and fucking eat snacks and stuff. No judgment. Like he's always just like, as long as you're good, I'm good. And I think that's
What does he do for work?
Works at Davison Ford.
Oh, so another car.
Yeah, he's a car salesman.
So is he from Melbourne originally or from?
No, he was born here. Then he lived in Adelaide. Then he moved to Melbourne when he was 12 or 13. We went to school together. Yeah. So good friends in school. I used to be a bit of a bit of a shape, bit of a rough kid. And I remember he came up and pulled on. I had fucking long hair. Came and pulled on my ponytail, and I really liked him because no one would also talk to me because people were a bit like, how you going?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's a nice kid.
Yeah.
Came up, pulled on my ponytail, wanted to talk to me, and after that we were just best mates.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, it was cute, but
Yeah.
no, he's a shout out to him. He's a fucking good guy.
I'm trying to put my picture.
No, I wasn't a flesher. I was just a troublemaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah. Melbourne's shit.
Yeah, yes and no. There's good things and there's bad things.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I can make a strong argument for both.
Yeah, all the shit things here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I think that's like things are what you look for.
Yeah.
If you look for shit things, you'll find shit things. If you look for good things, you'll find good things.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's a very subjective thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Relationships. Not necessarily have to be like girlfriend, boyfriend, but like it's friendships.
Yeah.
Do you at the moment, do you have a hard time making friends? Do you
Yes
feel like
and
you
no.
do?
The problem I've had here, it's been really good being at the gym and stuff actually. Meeting all you boys.
Yeah.
That's been really good. But it's hard because a lot of people at our age like to go out and drink and stuff, and I'm trying to distance myself from that. And being in a town where you don't know many people, and I'm working full time, plus Saturdays, the only time I've got free is the Fridays and Saturday nights where people want to go out and drink, but don't want to do that. So, yeah, it's like it is a little bit hard and it gets a bit lonely sometimes. But also, I think that's a good thing sometimes too. Like you've got to be independent. Like I stole it from a book actually reading, but you've got three levels. You've got dependence, where you depend on people, where you care about what people think of you, social interaction, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Then you've got independence, but you need to be independent before you're interdependent. You can't work with people properly if you're not first independent and doing your own things and not letting what people do influence you. So I guess it's been hard in the sense to find those friendships. But then from not going out, I've been coming to the gym more, and now I'm starting to make friendships at the gym, which are a lot healthier friendships.
Yeah.
So I think in that way, it's been good. It's been a journey, but
good.
it's been good, yeah.
That's the life, man. That's good. You can always just reach out your own. Obviously quite busy, but you can always just...
Well, that's the thing. I'm working 8 till 5 every day, and then working every Saturday as well. So
it's hard, isn't it? Yeah, that's life.
Yeah.
Do you find it hard making relationships with the opposite sex?
No.
Not really.
Not really.
No, not really much of a struggle.
No.
No.
I don't know. Sometimes it's easier, almost.
Yeah.
I think it really depends on what it is, to be honest, actually.
Yeah.
There's some girls I get along with a lot easier than I get along with guys, and some guys I get along with a lot easier than I get along with girls.
It probably depends on the intention behind it as well.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I feel like it's hard to give a blanket answer to that because it's like
it's very nuanced.
Yeah. There's so many different little variables that go into it. I can't just say yes or no.
Yeah.
But
what are your plans for the future?
That's a good question. I don't know yet. I think I'll stay here for a little while. I do want to live overseas at some point.
Yeah.
Don't ask me when. I've just got my dog here at the moment, so it's just hard.
Yeah.
But bless her.
Yeah.
So I don't know. At some point. But honestly, just travel around the world. I want to go to all the continents. I don't know if I want to have kids or not yet. So I want to go to every continent and do all the things I want to do first anyway before I even get into that.
That sounds good.
That thing. So you?
Basically that.
Yeah.
My plans. I'll probably be here for another year. I plan on eventually going to agency nursing where I can make a bit more money. Then I can travel.
Yeah.
Want to keep
What's
traveling.
agency nursing?
So it's where
basically get like contracted?
Yeah, so like I go through an agency which is like
a
company usually run by nurses. They will give me contracts for other hospitals and they can ask for a lot more money.
Yeah.
So like when let's say instead of being paid, let's say like $30 an hour, I can get paid $60 an hour doing the same job. But the difference is that like I don't get any sick leave or anything like that.
And it's not guaranteed work, I guess. You're not in a full-time contract, so if you can't find work for 3 weeks, you don't get paid for 3 weeks.
The beauty of agency nursing is we're in high demand all the time. So you like the likelihood, unless you're really picky of where you want to go, the likelihood of you running out of work is very low.
Yeah.
and they pay for your accommodation, they pay for travel, like.
Oh, really?
So like, let's say if I found a contract in like Western Australia, they'll pay for my flights, my accommodation.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I go there, work, and get paid like fucking $60 to $90 an hour, and I do that for 3 months. I can have like a month off and do whatever I want. Like that sounds pretty good to me.
Sounds pretty fucking good. Yeah.
Every agency nurse I've worked with, everyone I talk to always recommends it.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's one part of my career. Once I finish my master's degree, I've got another year of it, and then after that, I've got my master's in mental health.
Yeah, yeah.
And that'll help me a lot with getting jobs. It also means I can lead to getting going to a nurse practitioner, which is like another step up after masters.
Yeah.
And with that, that'll also give me financial security to better do renovations and pay off my house.
Yeah.
I can also then travel the world because I'm obsessed with just other cultures.
Yeah,
and like,
I find it so fascinating.
Oh, dude. Because like right now, because I'm planning for Japan, like I've been spending all my time looking up like different apps to learn Japanese and like how to read Japanese and like looking up like side quests and like little history things. Like I just can't wait. Like, and that's gonna be my first time overseas for me personally.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like,
I'm
so keen. Yeah, I've there for 25 days with Chris. Like,
yeah, shit.
It's a long fucking time. Like, just to think, like a week's already passed, and that felt like forever.
Yeah, yeah.
And imagine that on holidays, you do so much in each day, and it's always an
you last, like, yeah. Cause you wake up, like, no matter how much you drink or what you do, you wake up feeling so good. You get up like 6 a.m, you're fucking ready to go. You run around the whole country, like.
The dopamine.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I need a holiday.
So next year, are you gonna go to Thailand with the boys? Yeah. I've got to write that. I've got to make sure I get annual leave from that as well.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely. Then maybe Europe.
Yeah.
Hopefully Europe.
Yeah, Europe. Croatia. I don't know if I want kids.
Yeah.
That's a really tough topic with the relationship stuff because a lot of women want kids.
Yeah, does the.
Oh, she does eventually.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's a down the road conversation.
Yeah.
But like, look, like I can't see having kids until I'm like, fucking maybe like 36.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, like.
If anything, I need to get all my stuff done first because I don't want to have kids and think, what if I did this? What if I did that?
Yeah.
Then pass on way back to what I was getting at before, and then I'm negative about it, and then pass on that negativity to them because I'm angry at myself, and then that reflects on the way that I treat them, and then they go, "Well, I didn't ask to fucking be here. Why are you treating me like shit for being here? You had me." Like,
it's very and that's exactly what I think too, man.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, if I don't even at least try for the things I want out of life, and then I have kids and I can't do that, I will resent my children. I will resent the people in my life. And I don't want that for the people around me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's, for me personally, that's not a life I want to lead.
Yeah. And I wouldn't want someone to do that to me, so why the fuck would I do it to someone?
The golden rule?
Yep.
Exactly.
Treat people the way you want to be treated.
It applies to your children and your future spouse.
Yeah.
So that's the way to track. I just want to travel as much as I can before I die.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of personal goals I need to reach, like a lot of fitness goals and stuff. I just want to see like how far I can take it before I perish into the dirt.
Yeah. go 6 feet under.
Yeah.
Before I become a tree.
Do you think you'd like do that? Like, you know how they can do that as like a coffin that you'd be put in like a pod with a seed?
Oh, yeah.
And you get like the tree grows?
Yeah, honestly, I don't really care. I'm dead anyway.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
Doesn't really care much at that point.
Yeah.
My friend wants to like become like a taxidermy, like.
Oh, that'd be so scary.
Yeah, he wants to be placed at like Mount Everest. Just like
I'll just bring him out once a year on Halloween.
Yeah, that'd be great. Like, just imagine the smell though.
No, because when you tattoo, they fucking clean it and all that. I'm assuming they have to pull out all your guts and stuff.
Stink. That's the smell. It'd be skin. It's leather.
Yeah.
I don't know the process.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do an episode of taxidermy.
Should we just go catch the fucking magpies outside? Live taxidermy get cancelled straight away.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No.
How'd you feel about the episode?
No, good. I was sweating at the start.
Yeah. What about?
Just in general.
Just
it's I don't know. It's weird. Even though we don't have a million followers, it's weird knowing you're being recorded and you're talking and I don't know. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, I've got 2 people in Belgium who listen.
Yeah,
the Belgians.
Hopefully they don't hate Croatians. I don't really know.
I don't know. Well, you guys did nothing in the war, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've no idea.
We're just kicking.
Anyhow, this has been episode 31 of Thought Anthology. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me.
No worries. Goodbye.
Bonne nuit.